So I don't know why it was so laggy in the last video. I literally have the same settings that I had. Maybe I just had too many applications open, maybe, but we're trying this now today. Um, so what I did, I don't know if I recorded the previous. So what I did is I went into the Hedwig's theme. And so the first thing I did, which you'll see here in a second, once this program loads, which will take who knows how long. Here we are. So this is me transcribing it by ear, and if you've seen the original score, you can tell how off this is. This is, I mean, at least I have the time signature. I think I actually went back and changed it. I think I kind of cheated with the time signature and the tempo. But actually, wait, no, I remembered from the previous score that I was looking at, or the previous, because I was looking at the same score, but I was starting at measure 1. I believe I'm starting at measure 31 here in the actual score. Anyways, so yeah, I went through and I transcribed it by ear, and this is what I came up with. That's actually copyright, so I'm not gonna play it, but it sounds kind of like Harry Potter. I mean, the melody is correct. The melody is correct. It's fairly easy to hear the melody. The problem is these string runs. That's the issue. Those are harder to hear. So it sounds like they're going faster than they actually are. So I put in these triplets on the 8th note beats, and then I set it to 30-second notes because I thought it sounded, you know, that fast, but it's surprisingly not that fast. Really, it's just the tempo. I think the tempo is faster in the actual score. And again, the score is Hedwig's theme. So I got it completely wrong, if I'm being honest. Completely wrong, but that's okay. That's okay, because the next thing I do, this is step 2, is I actually transcribe. Wait, I think this is the wrong one. Yeah, it's the wrong one. Oops. I think it's this one, because I just opened this. Yeah, it looks like this is the one. Hopefully the audio isn't lagging now because I have more applications open. But you can see here, this is the actual transcription of the score. So I'm not doing it by ear here. I'm actually looking at the score while I do it, and I'm transcribing it. So I was looking at a score transcription, and you can just go on YouTube and look at those score transcriptions and just copy them down. So this is when the strings come in, and as you can see, it's a lot slower than I originally thought. So this is what I thought. Now, I actually got it right at first with the rhythm. I obviously didn't get all the notes. I was also surprised at how low the notes were. I thought the notes were a lot higher, but that's just the but I'm not going to play the whole song because it's copyright. I don't want to get any issues. So, but I can play my version. My version is completely made by me. This is my version here. And so I just took a couple of techniques that I saw and I just made my own piece out of it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because we're just trying to acquire the skill. We're not trying to be masters here and spend 5 hours writing a piece that sounds better than Harry Potter. No, that's not what we're doing here. We're just trying to write something quickly so we can acquire the skills that were used and then move on to a new piece or move on to a new section. And I actually plan on moving on to another section of Hedwig's theme, but I composed this today. I composed this earlier today, and I finished it up just now. And so I'm going to play it, and you can let me know, does it sound like it's not supposed to sound like Hedwig's theme. We're just really, although it ended up sounding like that, consciously and unconsciously I made it sound like that, but that's not the goal. Keep in mind, the goal is really just to take one or two techniques that we found in the song. Let me actually show you the sheet that I had. So this is Hedwig's theme analysis 2. And you can see we went through this sheet. I can put a link in the description if you want it. And then as you can see right here, what can I steal? And then we choose only one or two things. And so I chose these two things, the melody, bass, and the scale runs and arpeggios. And then we have, could put 30-second notes. Although I did steal some other things, whether conscious or unconscious. I chose the same tempo and I chose the same time signature just because, I don't know, it's just helpful. It's helpful to use the same time signature that you were just analyzing because you're familiar with it. So you might as well just use it. So that's what I did. And then I used the statement, the variation, the climax, and the resolution. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, so again, it's not perfect. A lot of those harmonies are too consonant. There's not enough like dissonance. And for my taste anyway. So it could be improved, but the goal here is not perfection. Again, we have some contrary motion here between the bass. You know, sometimes the bass lines up with the melody, sometimes it's not lining up with the melody, so it's not too predictable. I mean, this could obviously be improved. There's things I would go back and change, but I'm not going to go back and change them because the goal here is just to compose with the techniques we learned. We're not trying to perfect this. With Hedwig's theme, John Williams, he makes another melody. It's like melody 2, and it's very similar to the first melody, but I just chose not to make it because, I mean, we already learned the lesson from that first theme there. So again, this is what I did. And so that's really it. That's like the whole process for analyzing a section of a piece, transcribing it and everything, and then actually applying it. Applying it is, but once you learn how to do this, it's actually not super difficult. The hard part is learning how to do it, but once you learn how to do it, it gets easy. So this is the analysis sheet, and then this is like the DNA library. This is where we can go and quickly pick out those techniques, so that way we don't have to go through this whole document figuring out what to get. I have a separate